Good evening, everyone. I'll open our meeting here in council chambers at 6 p.m. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Murphy.
Present.
Macias.
Present.
Timian.
Present.
Finch.
Present.
McNeil.
Present.
Castro.
Present.
Schmidt.
Present.
Okay, we do have remote electronic attendance.
I would like to make a motion to approve the remote electronic attendance of Alderperson Razak at the City Council meeting of December 16th, 2025 due to a personal illness or disability.
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
All right, is there public comment? Oh, sorry, that motion passes. You are welcome to join us, Mr. Razak. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there public comment this evening?
Yes, Wes for now.
Good evening. My name's Wes. I live here in Moline. I work here in Moline. First council meeting I've ever been to. So wanted to just, I guess, bring up a topic that is, I guess, seasonally talked about or thought about, but we have neighbors that are living outside. It's very cold. I know there's more of a concentration of resources in Rock Island and Davenport, and I'd love to see our city contribute and be a part of that path for folks that are experiencing homelessness to, one, stay safe, stay alive. It gets pretty cold, we all know that, right? Who was outside this weekend? I know I hibernated and didn't want to leave my house. Very thankful for the roof over my head. And I'm thankful for the nonprofits that came together and threw an emergency shelter together at the MLK Center over the weekend. Very short notice, and it's one weekend. Like, that's great for the weekend, but what about, you know, the rest of the cold season? And homelessness doesn't just kill people when it's 0 degrees out. It's demonstrated that people experience, with a history experiencing homelessness can expect to live significantly shorter lives just because of the chronic stress, lifestyles, different things like that. But there's things out there that we need to be doing. I made some notes just so I'd set all the things outside.
And I appreciate that, and I want to say, because I forgot earlier, that you get 3 minutes, so I probably took 3 seconds. Go for it.
You tell me when to stop.
Yeah.
I'll probably stop. There's changes in how the Housing and Urban Development Department is going to be funding housing programs and homelessness programs. And unfortunately, it's, in my opinion, I work in that field, it's going to be terrible for people experiencing homelessness. It's going to be terrible for folks that are poor. It's a shift away from permanent placements and more temporary Band-Aid situations. Housing First is a philosophy that is proven. It works. It's cost effective. I always say, like, if we can't win people over with that philosophy, with the hearts and minds and the feel goods, it makes fiscal sense to invest in these types of programs. I know you all partner with Project Now in Rock Island for some programming. They have the exact data, but I think in the last 3 years, homelessness in Rock Island County has gone up 40%. Something crazy, something that's ridiculous. It's 2025. We need to be taking care of our neighbors. I'd love to see the city do some of that. Madam Mayor, I saw you a couple years ago talk about auxiliary dwelling units at the library. Love that strategy. Different strategies to increase the affordable housing stock. And I know the Housing Authority increased some units recently, but I think it was like 10 units over 7 years or something like that. So just wanted to say all those things out loud, put it in your laps. You're the leaders of the city, and I think it falls to all of us to be responsible for our neighbors and make sure people get what they need. Housing is a human right. So.
Thank you. And normally this is not an exchange period. We listen, but since it's your first meeting, I hope you stay, because there is an item on the agenda related to giving more emergency funding, and you'll hear some talk there, as well as come onto another listening post, this time on Thursday, at Moline Center Station.
Also, there's the homeless memorial for folks that have died while experiencing homelessness or with a history of homelessness. It's the national day on the 21st of December. Every day is the longest
Okay.
night of the year. Christian Care in Rock Island and Humility Homes and Services are both hosting an event to memorialize those folks that we lost.
Thank you. Any further public comment? Hearing none, we move to our presentation. Recognition of Police Chief Darren Galt for receiving the Law Enforcement Official of the Year Award from the Illinois Security Professionals Association. Mr. Vitas.
Okay, come on up, I should rush up here already. That's good. You saw me going, so that's great. I'll put this over here for a minute. All right. First of all, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
It's fantastic. So last week, Moline Police Chief Darren Galt was recognized as the Law Enforcement Official of the Year by the Illinois Security Professionals Association at a ceremony in downtown Chicago, which he attended. He was nominated by the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police, which he is a strong member of, in recognition of his leadership and impact at the local, regional, and national levels, which there can be no doubt we know that about our police chief. Chief Galt has served in law enforcement for more than 28 years and was hired in 2019 as an outside chief to lead the Moline Police Department. Since that time, his leadership has driven a significant cultural transformation within the organization, modernized department operations, and strengthened trust and relationships with the community. Under his tenure, the Moline Police Department achieved the ILEAP accreditation, and in early 2025 completed the International Association of Chiefs of Police Trust Building Campaign Pledge. This accomplishment reflects the implementation of 25 essential policies and practices across 6 critical focus areas, including bias-free policing, use of force, leadership and culture, recruitment, retention, victim services, and community relations. Moline proudly is one of only 10 law enforcement agencies nationwide to complete this rigorous program. That speaks volumes to your leadership. In August, Chief Galt and his team achieved a major investigative milestone by solving a 29-year-old cold case involving the disappearance of Trudy Appleby, which resulted in the arrest of a suspect. This outcome reflects his commitment to justice, perseverance, and accountability. In the fall, Moline also launched an industry-leading new drone as first responder program. City of Moline also adopted the Path Forward program to support individuals in substance abuse recovery, reinforcing his focus on collaborative, community-based solutions. And that hits home. Chief Galt has also given back extensively to the profession and to the community. He taught navigating the political landscape as a police chief for the FBI National Academy Associates of Illinois and launched the 2nd season of the Moline Police Department podcast, which many people love here locally. There you go. There you go. Which has become a successful platform for connecting the department with the community it serves. At the statewide level, Chief Galt has served as a subject matter expert on the Community Emergency Services Support Act, delivering presentations across Illinois as new crisis response standards are being implemented. This fall, he led the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police through a strategic planning session to help chart the organization's future. He also led the ILACP Public and Private Partnership Committee, strengthening collaboration between law enforcement and private sector partners statewide. In addition, he has been instrumental in multiple legislative initiatives partnered on ILCP's Rethinking Police Traffic Stops initiative and implemented Moline's Purposeful Policing Initiative in July of 2025 this year. This initiative focuses on traffic safety, violent crime, property crime, and engagement with individuals experiencing homelessness, another current topic. Chief Galt serves on the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police Board of Directors as the Region 2 Vice President at large. He is also the Illinois representative to the IACP State Association of Chiefs of Police and a member of the IACP Community Policing Committee. His professional credentials include graduation from the FBI National Academy, which is no small feat, certification as a police chief through the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police, and certification as a sports security professional from the University of Southern Mississippi. He holds a master's degree in organizational leadership, bachelor's degree in business administration. Chief Darren Galt's career reflects sustained excellence, innovation, service. His leadership has strengthened officers' wellness, elevated professional standards, and enhanced public trust in this community. For these reasons, he is highly deserving, and he is a highly deserving recipient of the Illinois Security Professionals Association Law Enforcement Official of the Year Award. Please join me in congratulating Chief Galt. And I'll let you share what they gave you, your prize.
Well, it's certainly, I appreciate it, Bob. Thank you very much for the recognition here at council. Just briefly, I would be remiss if I didn't share this award with the city council and the city administrator and other staff members, my own staff that have assisted me in my time here. I took a leap of faith coming to Moline, left another agency, came here, it was a personal risk, and I wanted to do something more. I wanted to give back more to the community and to the profession, and the city of Moline has allowed me to do that. You've given me the resources to do things that you heard Bob mention, such as launching the Drone of First Responder program. That is a big financial commitment that the city has allowed me to do. So without the funding that the city has provided, I couldn't travel statewide to teach about the Emergency Services Supports Act, or be on IACP committees, or do these projects that were mentioned. So I just want to thank you as being a great partner, a great employer, and partners in public safety, and to make our community better. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move to our next item, a proclamation to declare January 9, 2026 as National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Do you have anything you want to say about that? Happy to share this with you all. The proclamation reads, whereas the Congress and President of the United States have designated January 9, 2026 as National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, and whereas each day more than 1 million police officers across our country put a badge on and go to work knowing they may face extremely dangerous situations, with 90 officers giving their lives in the line of duty last year, a 42% decrease compared to the previous year. And whereas the men and women of the Moline Police Department make difficult decisions every day to safeguard the rights and freedoms of the citizens of Moline and provide a vital public service, now therefore, I, Sangeeta Rayapati, Mayor of Moline, do hereby call upon all citizens of Moline and to observe January 9, 2026 as National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate the recognition for the Moline Police Department employees. As you know, we have what I think is the best police department in the Quad Cities, if not the region. We're certainly trying to get nationally to be the best. We think our citizens deserve that, but the standards that we set at the Moline Police Department are executed every day by our police officers with professionalism, teamwork, and integrity, and I think the service that we provide shows that. But they're out there every day in sub-zero temperatures we did 27 checks over the weekend for people experiencing homelessness at targeted locations. We handle almost 1,800 traffic stops a year, 50 to 60,000 calls a year. So they're very busy, very dedicated employees. And so on behalf of those men and women, we all thank you for the recognition.
Mm-hmm. Here you go. Thank you. Are there any questions on the agenda? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to our Committee of the Whole agenda items. 8.1, a resolution approving change order number 1 and final with Porter Brothers Construction, Inc. for project number 1478, 2025 asphalt maintenance program for the amount of $31,215.21. Ms. Clower.
Yes, staff is asking for approval of this final change order in the amount of $31,215.21. Staff added locations to maximize the amount of construction completed under this program while remaining under the budgeted amount of $350,000.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
Neal.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
All right, that motion passes. 8.2, an ordinance amending Chapter 4 alcoholic liquor of the Moline Code of Ordinances, Section 4-3104, number of licenses by increasing the number of Class B tavern licenses in the city at the request of Jeffrey Close, J.D. Close Entertainment LLC, purchaser of the Broken Saddle Saloon, 1417 Fifth Avenue, Moline. Bill? Madam Clerk?
Essentially, this is a purchase of the existing business, so it's not going to actually increase the number of licenses in the city.
Thank you.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All right, motion by Finch, seconded by Schmidt. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
All right, that motion passes. 8.3, an ordinance amending Chapter 22, offenses miscellaneous of the Moline Code of Ordinances, Section 22-1105, tobacco products, tobacco accessories, smoking herbs, and alternative nicotine products by increasing the number of Class B incidental tobacco dealers licenses in the city of Moline at the request of J.D. Close Entertainment LLC, DBA The Broken Saddle Saloon. Mr. Atkins.
And this is the same purchase of an existing business that we just talked about in the last one.
Thank you.
Motion to approve? Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
All right, that motion passes. 8.4, an ordinance amending Chapter 22, offenses miscellaneous of the Moline Code of Ordinances, Section 22-1105, tobacco products, tobacco accessories, smoking herbs, and alternative nicotine products by increasing the number of Class B incidental tobacco dealers licenses in the city of Moline at the request of Central Store LLC, DBA Central Store. Mr. Atkins.
And with this one, they apparently have had a state tobacco license for the entire time that they have been doing business, but we could find no record that they have ever had a city tobacco license. When it came to our attention, we contacted them regarding this, and they applied. The mayor has already talked with me about taking care of any kind of a violation. That's really not for the city council to address, but only for the mayor.
Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Castro. Discussion. Mr. Timian.
Two questions. What is a state tobacco license? And so that's my first question, is because why are we even having that conversation? Second is, if they've been selling, are we missing out on tax revenue for the last?
Absolutely. There's a letter that I'm in the process of approving that communicates what our next steps are. It's very much the same as what I do as liquor commissioner with communicating about any type of violation. So that will be dealt with in an administrative capacity.
So could you maybe educate us, what is the state license versus,
I don't know the details with regards to which entity it is at the state level that actually regulates this. But there is, just like with liquor licenses, there is a state and a local license with regards to tobacco.
Okay.
So they with regards to the state requirements, but they had not complied with regards to the city for something like 8 years.
I see your hand, but this isn't the time for back and forth on that. I understand, and we'll deal with all that in our administrative thing. So I appreciate that. I recognize you, but we have to do it in that official manner, correct? Mr. Atkins, okay. So I guess the idea is to just make them able to do what they've been doing, and we'll handle the other part of it separately. That's what the goal of this application is, correct?
Yeah, I mean, this, if you grant this, it's not changing what they've been doing for the last 8 years. It's just making it legal now. It's basically bringing them into compliance.
Thank you, Ms. Castro.
Are all businesses required to get the state license as well? Is that a requirement, the state and the city license, or?
I'm afraid I don't have a lot of information with
Okay.
regard to the state license. I wish I could give you more information about that, but I'm afraid I just don't have it.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Anything further, Mr. Schmidt?
I know in 2023 is when the cap was established. When were the tobacco licenses as a whole established? Do we know when those were in effect?
When, I'm not sure what you're asking, when tobacco
When did the
license?
city start issuing tobacco licenses?
Well,
In 2020, your letter states
Yeah.
2025,
the-
January 21.
I really don't know for sure the answer to your question, and I don't want to speculate. I'm sorry.
And I get having some understanding too, to look at, say, were we issuing tobacco licenses at the time the business came to be? Is one big question, because while it is the business's responsibility to look at that, and while there is the enforcement portion that is obviously handled outside of this setting, I am far more comfortable if we look and say, like, this is an oversight or something that should have been added on versus something in the startup or that does read, it's just a little bit different and helps understand that.
And I know when you pass the regulations regarding the different classifications of licenses, which was earlier this year, January 21, I believe. For what you did prior, I don't know. It is my understanding that there was actually licensing throughout the entire period. The city did licensing throughout the entire period the central store has been in operation, is my understanding. However, I do not have an actual date for you. I can't give you verified information, so I'm reluctant to give that answer.
What is clear, though, is that the licensing was handled outside of the administrative wing of the organization. It was handled in finance, I believe, correct? Before we realigned everything. Carol? Yes, okay. Yes,
Are
Ms.
they
Murphy?
the only business operating like this? I mean, this is kind of,
I mean, we don't know what we don't know. If there are other businesses that we don't know are operating without a license, then I wouldn't be able to tell you that there are such businesses.
Well,
I'm not aware of any.
I would like to encourage the council to remember, your job here is not to be punitive. That is the purpose of the administrative hearing, if that is what the evidence reveals. Your purpose is to decide whether to allow a business to continue doing something they're doing, having not shown any other problems as a business, as far as I'm concerned. Yes, Mr. Timian.
When we came up with the classifications, I think we all kind of agreed that there would be companies that show up that we didn't realize. And I think this is just an example of that, even though it predates that. We're cleaning up code, and by not going through finance and now going through the liquor commissioner for the licensing, we are continuing to clean up, and for that reason, I'm supporting the license just as a cleanup measure.
Thank you. Is there anything further from the council? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt,
Aye.
Murphy,
aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak,
Nay.
Timian,
Aye.
Finch,
Aye.
McNeil,
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
All right, that motion passes, 7 ayes, 1 nay. Next item, 8.5, a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute and attest to a new 5-year ground lease between the city of Moline and the United States Postal Service, in which the city of Moline rents parking spaces to the Midtown ramp to USPS. Mr. Vitas?
Yeah, with this, I actually
sorry,
negotiated
Mr.
this to get
I've asked him that,
essentially the same conditions that we had with the original lease. It was a long, arduous task, but we finally got it done.
Thank you.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt,
Aye.
Murphy,
Aye.
Macias,
Aye.
Razak,
Aye.
Timian,
Aye.
Finch,
Aye.
McNeil,
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
That motion passes. 8.6, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a proposal for professional engineering services with Robinson Engineering Literated, REL, for an amount not to exceed $190,000 for lead water service line replacement design services and assistance with 2 Illinois Environmental Protection Agency loan applications, and authorizing the Director of Utilities to execute any necessary related documents. Ms. Williamson.
Good evening. You have before you a request from staff to have engagement of Robinson Engineering to do civil engineering design for our lead service line replacement. This would be for approximately 700 to 800 locations is where we're looking. This is actually 2 different loan applications, so there's some more additional administrative work that would be done with Robinson Engineering, and we're asking for this at a cost of $190,000.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Schmidt. Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
Motion passes. 8.7, a resolution approving certain contracts for the purchase of treatment chemicals to be used by the Utilities Department for the calendar year 2026 as tentatively awarded through the Bi-State Regional Commission, and authorizing the letter of utilities to execute any and all necessary documents for purchase of said treatment chemicals in the quantities needed for calendar year 2026. Ms. Williamson.
And you have before you a request to engage these various companies for the necessary chemicals. This is an annual process that we go through, so we're asking for approval for that as well.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Fidge and Mr. Schmidt. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
Motion passes. 8.8, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a notice of intent to award with Miller Trucking and Excavating Company for Project 1495, 2025 lead service line replacement project in the amount of $3,483,495. Ms. Williamson.
Yes, we are here asking that we would issue this notice of intent to Miller Engineering. It is an additional amount. What we've discovered when we were working with the IEPA for our loan agreement, that during the bidding process, we actually had a change in an addendum in some quantities. And although the unit prices remained the same, the quantities did change, which ended up in increasing the award amount. The good news with that is it's allowing us to take advantage, if council is in agreement, it's allowing us to take advantage of approximately, I gotta get my dollar amount, $696,000 of zero interest loan monies for another 40 years. So it's going to allow us to actually do a number of more lead services than we initially anticipated.
Thank you.
Motion to approve?
Second. Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
That motion passes.
Thank you.
8.9, an ordinance authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a Fifth Amendment to Development Agreement for the Quad Cities Multimodal Station between the City of Moline and Moline Promenade Investors, LLC, to execute, and to execute any necessary agreements referenced therein, and authorizing all appropriate city officers and staff to do all things necessary to complete each of the city's responsibilities pursuant to said agreement. Mr.
I'm
Vitas.
happy to take this one. This goes back. Wow. That's terrible. Yeah, this issue goes back to when we sold the parking lot to Promenade Investors at the corner of 4th and 12th, across from the Element Hotel. So the language in the agreement, the original condominium agreement going back to the time of construction of that project, included rent payments on the parking lot to the city, which we're aware of course. So this is actually just cleaning up the language in that agreement so that in the future, there's no confusion as we move forward.
Thank you.
All of your commissions, and will help them with efficiency in scheduling and interviewing large pools of candidates. And this really came up because of our continuous testing process that we implemented several years ago, which now instead of testing once a year, we are testing and interviewing a lot. And that is a big burden to the Police and Fire Commission. So if we're able to do a pre-screening and give them some information ahead of time, that will assist in the interviews. The last two areas to draw your attention to, I'll speak on behalf of the fire chief. Fire section, chapter 6, page 27, changing the interview panel specific members that are identified by title to saying command supervisor select by the fire chief, for some flexibility there in the panel. And chapter 7, page 34, fixing the order of rank in the fire department to reflect the current structure and some of the changes there. So that concludes the substantive changes review. If you have any questions, I'll certainly entertain those.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion. Mr. Schmidt.
Your Honor. One thing caught my eye, and this is going to be more for Bill and Bob, I think, than for Chief. Looking at the Open Meetings Act section, we're adding the portion that says remote electronic attendance is available no more than 4 times for an individual in a year. So I went and I was looking, and that is there is no state law, but we are allowed to add in our own requirements. Is that something that's applied across our different commissions, or is that just kind of only in place here, do we know?
I'm afraid I don't know. Chief, do you know the answer to that?
Across all the, is that what you're saying, on all the commissions, or just, say that again? Can you?
Yeah, yes, if it's being used in the library board and those commissions. and that.
Yeah, I can't speak to that.
We'd have to survey them because some of them have their own bylaws as well,
Yeah,
right?
like the
So
Plan
there's-
Commission, for example, does have standards in terms of the number of absences, like the city
Yeah.
council and like the Board of Police and Fire Commissioners.
I can tell you there's a unique situation with the Police and Fire Commission, is there's only 3 members. So to even have remote attendance, there has to be one person physically present. Or no, I'm sorry, it has to be a quorum physically present, right? So it has to be 2 people physically present. So really all it does is allow that one person if they're traveling. So we have Karen Dahlstrom, Jeff Nelson, and Topher Flowers are the current commissioners. And Jeff just retired, as you know, but 2 of them still are traveling quite a bit. So it does aid their ability to do that.
Mr. Schmidt.
I guess my question becomes, what is the benefit and the justification for adding in that requirement? And and I think I would approach that on a commission by commission basis, whether I would approve it. I'd be very much opposed to applying it universally because some commissions, I think you can make that argument it's important. And so I'm curious to hear if we feel that's the case here. When I was serving as liaison to the library board, there was a member who mostly could only attend due to her work schedule if she was attending remotely. And there are, of course, downsides and disadvantages to that, but that cuts out a lot of people from being able to participate in the city process. And, well, I mean, certainly they need to be able to attend, but if it's for work or for those valid reasons, I think we need to have a good reason to say, no, you can't do that all the time. That's where I'm coming from and why I'm asking.
One thing with regards to the Police and Fire Commission, they meet much more often than the other committees and commissions. And they actually do a lot more closed session meetings as well. And so it's probably, I would say, more necessary for them to be able to have meetings where they're able to attend without actually physically being present than with the others, because there tends to be an urgency to the things that they are addressing, more so than with, like, say, the library board.
How often are they meeting?
I'm sorry?
How often are they meeting?
The Police and Fire Commission? We are, so I'll tell you the other problem with the Police and Fire Commission for the members that are on there, sometimes they're all-day meetings. So for example, police and fire interviews, I know from the fire department, many times yours are 2 days, so 16 hours. The police department interviews are almost always 4 to 8 hours. Promotional interviews, depending on the number of promotions for the police, are, Leah, would you say 4 hours at minimum? Fire is longer, very long, I think. So I don't have a number for you, but I mean, I'm gonna throw out there 20 times a year the police fire commission meets.
It's a lot.
There's a
It's a lot.
significant time commitment on a part of
I
those
would-
three people.
I would add to that, actually, we have the 12 meetings a year. I think we've held between promotions and new hires, at least 8 sets of interviews. So there's your 20 there just for fire. And at least I doubled that, so. And as Chief Galt referenced, sometimes they're 8 hours. We had interviews for new hires, I think, 4 straight days at 8 hours. So
They're giving up almost a week of their life.
Any other questions? Mr. Schmidt?
Just to close my thought, in this case, I think knowing what the meetings and the purpose in those pieces are, keeping in person as a heavier requirement does, I think, make sense. Though I would consider myself generally hostile to that type of language related to other commissions. But yes, I appreciate that and think that in the hiring process, that's
Yeah,
pretty
it's-
important in person as much as you can be.
Yeah,
So
it's really
that
hard to do
makes a lot of
promotions and
sense.
hiring and without the person doing that. So pretty much those are really only for other decisionary meetings. You know, like this, I know, like, we have reviewed revisions, because we want all the commissioners to be involved in reviewing those. So if somebody's traveling, that's a business meeting that can be taken care of.
Thank you. Anything further from the council? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias. Did you say, I'm sorry.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye. All right, that motion passes. 8.13, a resolution approving the use of council contingency funds for the amount of $25,000 to provide emergency winter supplemental services to unhoused residents, and authorizing the Community and Economic Development Department staff to do any and all things necessary to use said funds to implement the necessary services to respond to urgent health and safety needs of unhoused residents. Mr. Vitas.
Well, we're more than happy to recommend approval of the use of the contingency funds from the 2025 City Council budget, and to also carry those funds over into fiscal '26, as I don't anticipate between now and the end of the year that we would expend or exhaust $25,000. It's a significant sum. Today, we sent $2,000 to the Martin Luther King Jr. Community Center in Rock Island, similar to what the city of East Moline had done to support their ongoing efforts as it relates to sheltering the unsheltered during extreme weather conditions. So we're recommending approval of the use of the funds for this purpose through as administered by the Community and Economic Development Department.
Thank
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Did the sponsors of this item want to speak? Ms. Castro?
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate the staff's recommendation for approval. I think I just wanted to acknowledge that I know that this is not a huge amount, but it's enough to get us started and actually just open up the conversation on ways that we can help the unhoused community members. We tried to make it, to provide some different ideas about like the supplemental social services, but also making it open enough to where staff can do what they feel is important and have the funds available at the time that they need them. I just hope that, there's so much more that we can do. This is just to get us started, and I'm just hoping that we can continue having conversations about the possibility of opening up a permanent shelter or an emergency winter shelter in the coming year.
Mr. McNeil?
Yeah, I think the most important things to repeat there are this funding is not a path to a complete solution but it does provide the flexible funding that we think staff needs at this time. And I know staff has been working daily to find pathways to support our unsheltered, and we're looking forward to, each day bringing new ideas to help our unsheltered. And I'm looking forward to the mayor's listening session this coming Thursday, so we can hear from our residents as well, so.
Thank you. Mr. Timian?
Thank you, Your Honor. I've been public about this in the past, but one of the reasons I got involved in the city and in politics in general was that my oldest child suffers from mental health issues. And one thing I learned navigating that system as a parent is that there is a need for acute treatment and then long-term treatment. And they're very, very different. And having that, in my case, it was a psychiatric hospital or an emergency room that was available for the suicidal thoughts or the violence or whatever it is. That is one necessary thing. And then there's the wraparound services that follow, whether it is psychiatrists and therapists and resource officers and specialized schools and medication and the never-ending litany of treatment options that we need. So I use that as an example for what we're talking about now. The unhoused and the homelessness requires acute treatment, and that's what we're talking about tonight for specifically this month, or maybe the next. And I urge, and I'm proud of us for funding something and really moving forward. Is it enough? No. Is it fast enough? No. It's something. But I urge the staff and this council to continue thinking about what are the follow-up responses. What is the long-term treatment? And it is a huge problem that we can't solve, but we can make a dent locally. And so I want to thank Alderpersons Castro and McNeil for getting started on this, and the staff for all the work that's been going on. Because problems like this require our acute response and the long-term response. And we're never going to do enough, but man, we got to get caught trying. And I think that's what we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. I will add, the staff has been working on this for quite some time, although sometimes in fits and starts. We started last winter, talking with our nonprofit partners. I'll go into a little bit more of that review on Thursday night for the community, and I know I have written to all of y'all on some updates on things. There's been a lot of good conversation. In fact, we offered up our gymnasium, but they, Project Now already had a solution in place for this past weekend. But in any case, there's been a lot of really good conversation, and some of the things that were stumbling blocks over the last several months, for example, I think I shared with you all that I was really hoping faith leaders would step up and offer some of their empty spaces, right? Or do social justice initiatives through their congregations that address some of these issues. Wasn't getting anywhere there. Lo and behold, an organized group of individuals have come forward and are really receptive and quite knowledgeable. I know Ms. Whitley had a great conversation with their representative this past week, and I had a great conversation with him last week. And there's a renewed effort, I think, to gather those folks together and have a real serious conversation about really what's realistic that they can do on their end in terms of solutions. So I'm working with Ashley to plan a Faith Leaders Summit in January at Trinity Lutheran Church, because I think that conversation needs to happen, right? And then along those lines, I'm not sure if I told y'all, but Bob Vitas and I had talked quite a bit about doing a faith audit. It's something I learned about at Mayor's Innovation Project. There's an organization called NABIS that will go in sort of on the back end and scour the web and try to figure out like what churches are doing what, right? So that you're not doubling up on programs being provided, so that the money is used efficiently, and say, a free meal site is happening on this night and then on a different night at a different institution. rather than the same night, right? You get what I'm saying? But that was a little bit too much money, and we thought we could probably do something with this in-person conversation with faith leaders in the area. So I just want you to know that's another piece of it that I will agree, and I think has been part of the conversation. The long-term and the immediate need are part of every conversation, I think, that we've been having. And so I didn't know if you all wanted to say anything more about that have been engaged in those conversations? No? We're good. There's going to be more talk, but I think it's thank you for pushing us forward a little bit more with one side of it, or one lane, as I was calling it. And just as a reminder, I went back to some of those notes from the past couple of months, and we had been talking about different lanes, right? The long-term and the short-term solutions. And so I think we'll just continue marching down those as best we can. Okay. Yes, Mr. Schmidt.
Thank you for pushing us forward. As we look at what we have been doing, and I think a lot of the council's attention has been on those bigger, longer-term projects and things where you can go to try and address those root causes, which is really important. I certainly feel like I had not pushed enough on saying, hey, we need to also do those more immediate needs. And even as others have, it just, and adding our voices together into that, because that is an immediate need. It's come into sharper focus, right, with an earlier onset in the winter and the really severe cold. And I think as we continue to do this, we don't want to take on a lot of that direct service provider role. We have to find the partners and push things through, and as much as possible that this comes back to trying to, it's a regional problem that has to be addressed in some way with a regional solutions. But I have the worry and the concern and the conviction that if our regional partners, and especially other cities and other cities, put up challenges, we need to be willing and ready to step up. And, because for us to even make it right for our Moline residents, does that mean we're going to help people from other places? Yeah, it probably does. But I think we're also in that place where we can make those decisions and do it smart and do it well, and obviously stay focused where we can. But don't be afraid that we might help somebody from somewhere else a little bit when we're just trying to help people. So just some of my thinking as we move forward.
Ms. Castro.
He had his hand up first.
Oh,
He
I'm
wanted to go to
sorry, Mr. Macias.
Actually.
Well, and pretty much, I was going to say the same thing. We really have focused on those root causes and doing programs that help prevent homelessness, but in turn, we do still need to have the reactive response, right, in these cases. But yes, there are people and organizations that know this area way better than our staff, than ourselves here, and those are the people that are going to help us really solve this. And just in general, this is an issue that's not unique to one of the Quad cities. This is all over the country. This is happening, large cities, and as cities and municipalities grow, you're going to see more and more of this. And obviously there's other causes like substance abuse, mental illness, disabilities, all these things. So it's a very complex issue. We are not going to be able to do it on our own, but we have been working on addressing issues before people become homeless. And I'm proud that we've been doing that. But yes, we're only going to be able to do it with other partners because we can't be everything to everybody. We do need other people with their expertise on this.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about the regional conversation that's been?
The regional conversation?
Well, it's been restarted.
I think it's kicking off again. I think that, I hadn't heard anything for some time from one of our neighboring cities, and, they seem to have jumped into a conversation with Humility Homes today, which was good to see. That's a plus, I think between, all of the cities here and the severity of this winter and its early onset, I think it just exasperates the entire issue for everyone. So I think everybody is, looking forward to, I think Humility Homes is planning a summit, I believe in January, if I'm not mistaken, but I can get that information for you. And we want to have this dialogue, of course, with the other cities and the counties. I think the mayor has reached out, to the county board chairman, Mr. Brunk, because they have been involved in the past along with Scott County. So the Big Seven, as they like to refer to themselves as, were at the table 2 years ago. And then last year with the, closure of the winter shelter by humidity and a mild winter, it kind of just fell away. So now everybody's kind of getting back to the table, and I think, I think we're looking for a more, you have the immediate needs, and then you have a more permanent need. And I think that's where we're at, is defining what is that immediate need that needs to be addressed, whether it's, cooling shelters in the summer, or whether it's, warm shelters in the winter. It's year-round, it's not just seasonal. It is a year-round problem, or issue, not a problem, but an issue to face. And then there's the more permanent solution, and looking for our community partners, whether it's Project Now or Humility, or Third Place. There's a whole bunch of different organizations that will be engaged in some type of a conversation that will lead, hopefully, to a more permanent solution for the unsheltered in the Quad Cities as a whole, and here in Moline as well. So.
Thank you. All right, if there's nothing further, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt?
Aye.
Murphy?
Aye.
Macias?
Aye.
Razak?
Aye.
Timian?
Aye.
Finch?
Aye.
McNeil?
Aye.
Castro?
Aye.
That motion passes. All right, we move to our informational I-74 Riverfront Reimagined Brownfield Redevelopment Project. Ms. Temple.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, if your staff here, you hear a lot of discussions on two things right now, housing and the riverfront. And there's been a lot of behind-the-scenes pre-development work happening in the past 6 months since you guys have approved that vision plan for the riverfront. And I'm here to just let you guys know that we are intending to apply for an EPA brownfields grant, multi-purpose grant to support environmental assessments, actual cleanup on the site, and community engagement. Phase 1 environmental reports have confirmed that this site has environmental concerns, which I'm sure is not a surprise to anyone, that need to be addressed before redevelopment can proceed. We also have a Phase 2 assessment underway, which will be completed before EPA award announcements later next summer. We've engaged Terracon as subject matter experts and having legacy experience on this site to assist with the grant application. We will be requesting the maximum of $1 million, and there is no match requirement for this grant, hence not needing your approval. The application is due January 28th, and if awarded, cleanup and remediation activities would proceed based on the Phase 1 and Phase 2 findings. Like I said, this is just informational. No formal action is needed at this time, but your support is appreciated as it does demonstrate the city's commitment to addressing environmental concerns and advancing our riverfront development goals. Thank you all. Any questions?
Anything from council? Yes, Mr. Timian.
In my history studies, I found an old postcard showing this area. And some of the buildings that have gotten a facelift are the exact same buildings from before I-74 existed. These buildings are old, they were industrial. There was a train track that ran right through there that had all sorts of untold environmental, offshoots. So like, this is no shock. And I'm surprised it's been used for anything in the meantime. So like, and I remember when we interviewed Bob, he talked about needing, like, the environmental impact of this project was going to be massive. And this is just a great legacy to leave future generations, the cleanup.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Phase 1 Sanborn maps go back to 1885. So there was originally, well, not originally, but from when the earliest maps are available, was a lumber yard originally, right along the shore there. So it's a pretty interesting read. 700 pages, but. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. All right, that closes out our COW meeting. We'll bring the regular council meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance, please. allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do you have an invocation, Alderperson Schmidt?
Nope.
All right, roll call, please.
Alderperson Murphy?
Present.
Macias?
Present.
Razak?
Thank you.
Timian? Finch?
Present.
McNeil?
Present.
Castro?
Present.
Schmidt?
Present?
Mr. Atkins, do we need to approve the remote electronic attendance again?
I'm sorry?
Do we need to approve the remote electronic attendance
No,
again?
you've already approved
Thank you.
that.
All right, is there public comment, Chief, for the second meeting? Okay. Consent agenda.
All right, Your Honor, I request the approval of Committee of the Whole and Council meeting minutes of December 2nd, 2025, and consent agenda items 18.1 through 18.4 inclusively.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt?
Aye.
Murphy?
Aye.
Macias?
Aye.
Razak?
Aye.
Timian?
Aye.
Finch?
Aye.
McNeil?
Aye.
Castro?
Aye.
8 ayes, no nays, that motion carries. Non-consent agenda, second reading ordinances.
Your Honor, a point of order. I'm sorry if I had misheard, but I did not hear the second reading ordinances addressed when the clerk read the consent agenda items. And I might have just missed it.
The River's Edge redevelopment.
I have 18.1 through 18.4.
We have a
This would be
17.1.
Okay, can I just restate that? 17.1,
I think we
Or
just
do
do
I just make a motion to
just make a
approve
motion.
it?
okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. If it hadn't been read.
Yeah, and I really don't want somebody coming back and
Right,
invalidating this
right.
zone.
Yeah, we've got to make sure that we actually vote on each of the items. We have one coming back today because we had an issue with an attachment not being on it. So that would be the way to address it.
Okay.
You want to make a motion to approve a second reading on item 17.1?
Second.
Motion by Schmidt, seconded by Finch. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt?
Your Honor, you have to call for discussion.
No, it's consent agenda.
I did not make a motion as a consent agenda item. I
Oh,
could have.
correct,
You're
it's-
probably right, but
Okay. Is there discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt?
aye.
Murphy?
Aye.
Macias?
Aye.
Razak?
Aye.
Timian?
Aye.
Finch?
Aye.
McNeil?
Aye.
Castro?
Aye.
Thank you for catching that.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate that. Okay, item number 20.1, an ordinance amending chapter 22, offenses miscellaneous of the Moline Code of Ordinances, section 22-1105, tobacco products, tobacco accessories, smoking herbs and alternative nicotine products by increasing the number of Class B incidental tobacco dealers licenses in the city of Moline at the request of Amon Food and Gas, Inc., DBA Amon Food and Gas.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Schmidt, seconded by Finch. Discussion? Hearing, yes, Mr. Timian.
This is, I mean, this is right next door to the central store. If we're concerned about density of facilities, just keep it in your mind, that's all.
I'll remind you, though, this is a store that has nothing it can offer, like, it does not have a liquor license, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
It cannot have one. So this is the only license they're applying for.
Mhm.
Thank you. Was there another hand, Mr. Macias?
And they are going to start selling gasoline, right?
That is the plan.
That is
Yes,
in the
okay.
business plan, yeah.
So to me, that's the biggest thing, having a gas station right there.
Thank you. Anything further from the council? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt?
Aye.
Murphy? Aye. Macias?
Aye.
Razak?
Aye.
Timian?
Nay.
Finch?
Aye.
McNeil?
Nay.
Castro?
Aye.
6 ayes, 2 nays. That motion carries. Non-consent agenda resolutions. Item number 21.1, a resolution setting the annual meeting schedule for 2026 and authorizing city staff to do all things necessary to notify the media of the 2026 annual meetings schedule.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
8 ayes, no nays, that motion carries. Item number 21.2, a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute and attest to a lease agreement with Friends of Riverside Park Gardens, Inc. for the purpose of maintaining and beautifying the River Park Gardens for a term of 1 year with the option of up to 4 one-year extensions commencing January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2026, and authorizing city staff to do any and all things necessary to fulfill the terms of the agreement.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
8 ayes, no nays, that motion carries. Item number 21.3, a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute and attest to a Riverside Complex lease with Moline Little League, an Illinois not-for-profit corporation, for the purpose of maintaining and hosting sanctioned Little League games and tournaments for a lease term of 5 years, commencing on January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2030, and authorizing city staff to do any and all things necessary to fulfill the terms of the lease.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
8 ayes, no nays, that motion carries. Item number 21.4, a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute and attest to a lease agreement with QC Elite Soccer Club to lease the 48th Street Field at Green Valley Park for the purpose of operating a soccer league for a 5-year lease commencing on January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2030, and authorizing city staff to do any and all things necessary to fulfill the terms of the agreement.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
8 ayes, no nays, that motion carries. Item number 21.5, a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute and attest to a Stevens Park T-ball field lease with Moline Little League Softball, an Illinois not-for-profit corporation, for the purpose of maintaining and hosting sanctioned Little League softball games and tournaments for a lease term of 5 years commencing January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2030.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
8 ayes, no nays, that motion carries. Item number 21.6, a resolution authorizing the city administrator to modify the non-union employee group benefit package effective January 1, 2026, to incorporate the changes as set forth on Exhibit A attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference relating to the wages and health insurance premiums, and authorizing the city administrator and staff to do any and all things necessary to implement said changes.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
8 ayes, no nays, that motion carries. Item number 21.7, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a notice of intent to award with Miller Trucking and Excavating Company for project number 1495-2025 lead service line replacement project for the amount of $3,483,495.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
8 ayes, no nays, that motion carries. Item number 21.8, a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute and attest to a contract with J.C. Dillon, Inc. for project number 1532, 2026 on-call water line service replacement program for the amount of $501,840, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute and attest to a contract with H. Koopman Trucking and Excavating, Inc. for project number 1532, 2026 on-call water service line replacement program for the amount of $561,720.
Motion to approve?
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion. Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
8 ayes, no nays, that motion carries. Item number 21.9, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a proposal for professional engineering services with Robinson Engineering Limited for an amount not to exceed $190,000 for lead water service line replacement design services and assistance with 2 Illinois Environmental Protection Agency loan applications, and authorizing the Director of Utilities to execute any necessary related documents.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
8 ayes, no nays, that motion carries. Item number 21.10, a resolution approving the use of council contingency funds for the amount of $25,000 to provide emergency winter supplemental services to unhoused residents, and authorizing the Community and Economic Development Department staff to do any and all things necessary to use said funds to implement the necessary services to respond to urgent health and safety needs of unhoused residents.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
8 ayes, no nays, that motion carries. Non-consent agenda, first reading ordinances. Item number 22.1, an ordinance amending Chapter 25, Planning and Development of the Moline Code of Ordinances, Section 25-2100, Official Comprehensive Plan Adopted Territorial Application, by enacting thereto an amendment to the Comprehensive Plan, Appendix O, entitled Airport South District Development Plan, Land Use and Development Framework, Future Land Use Map, incorporated therein as Section 5, pages 8 through 9, southwest corner of 78th Avenue and 72nd Street to the northwest corner of 100th Avenue and 72nd Street.
Motion to advance the second reading?
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
8 ayes, no nays, motion to advance to second reading carries. Item number 22.2, an ordinance amending Chapter 35, Zoning and Land Development of the Moline Code of Ordinances by enacting an amendment to the zoning map incorporated therein as Section 35-3103, Map of Standard Zoning Districts, west side of 72nd Street between 78th Avenue and 100th Avenue, with no assigned street addresses.
Motion to advance the second reading?
Second.
Motion by Finch, seconded by Castro. Discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro.
Aye.
8 ayes, no nays, motion to advance to second reading carries, and that's all I have this evening, Your Honor.
Thank you. We move to miscellaneous business. Perhaps you've seen that I had an early morning drive down into Chicago along with several others from the Quad Cities who've been advocates for passenger rail. We were there at Union Station for the governor's signing of the transportation bill, which includes funding for our passenger rail. So there's still a lot of work to do, but this is a moment worth marking. And so I felt privileged to be there. Came back for the PAR ribbon cutting, PAR instruments. Happy to see the response there. It looks really good. And there's just more to come this week. I think you sent out the agenda for Thursday's listening post. We did turn it into a special meeting so that you all could be there and you could all speak if you wanted to. So if you can make it, that's great. Ms. Murphy?
I want to thank the staff and the council for productive 2025, since this is our last meeting of the year. And I also want to wish everyone a very happy and safe holiday season.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, same thing, just happy holidays to everybody, and thank you for everything you do to keep our city running and just pushing us forward. Thank you.
Is this like the fourth year you've worn the sweater?
Yeah, it's-
Yeah,
Yeah.
on this
I bring it
particular
out.
meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the last meeting before Christmas, I bring it up.
There you go. Thank you, Mr. Macias. Mr. Razak, anything?
Thank you, Rona. Thank you, everybody. It was a wonderful year for us with a lot of achievement and a lot more coming. And once again, thank you for your active participation for
for railroad and other things. Thanks to staff. Happy holidays to everybody.
Thank you. Mr. Timian?
Thank you, Your Honor. We're in the mood of thanks right now. I specifically want to thank the staff for how quickly they react to crises. And I'm thinking of the water main break on Avenue of the Cities and 41st Street. That impacts a lot of people. I'm thinking of the crews plowing and being very reactive. And the police, we had an incident at the school in my neighborhood where a parent was very upset, and it triggered a response, and the police were very responsive and in a way that did not scare the kids, and it was a end result. It was very good, and there was an abundance of caution exhibited, and I think it was just an example of a professional staff who can react to situations quickly. So I want to thank them for that, and all the staff, just keep up the good work. We see it.
Thank you. Ms. Finch?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. McKee?
Keeping with the theme of gratitude, it was a great day in the 6th Ward, as the mayor said, opening of ribbon cutting for PAR instruments. So I just want to thank the staff for the years of hard work that went into that project. Bob, Chris Mathias, everybody that worked on that project. It's beautiful and wonderful addition and expansion. Yeah.
I would say it was a full staff push.
Full
and
staff,
there are
full staff.
people, directors, and all of their subordinates that probably played a role in it at some point. So, thank you for that.
Thank you all.
Ms. Castro?
I feel like a broken record, but again, thank you for everything. I think this past week we probably bugged CED and Bob a lot, and we appreciate your responses, and Chief as well. Always, whenever we email or have questions, always, responding and just getting what we need to get done. So thank you to everyone, and happy holidays.
Mr. Schmidt?
No.
Staff?
My turn.
Okay, Mr. Fontas?
Thank you for the thank yous. How's that? On behalf of all 425 of us. It's a great team. I think you should be proud of them. I know I am. I never question in my mind daily what's going on. If something bad happens, we're on it. But reality is very little bad ever happens. And you've got a great team, and I think delivering great results to the residents in town. I think they're very responsive, and it goes beyond just the big programs and the heavy lifts that we're doing, but even sometimes just the soft touch that we have with residents that goes unseen, unnoticed, unstated. I mean, that's what goes on every day. And hats off to the staff. So a big thank you to the staff from my office and on behalf of the council and the mayor. We did have the PAR event today, which culminated, in Jim's case, probably 10 years of trying to do something on that site. At least 5 or 6 years of the staff trying to make something happen out there. Probably one of the more wonderful projects I've seen in a long time. And to be really honest, landing an industrial project in today's day and age is very difficult. Very difficult. You don't see a lot of that going on. A lot of warehouses and distribution centers, call centers, but actual manufacturing. Just really kudos to PAR Instrument, their board of directors, for giving Jim the authority to go forward and believing in Moline and staying in Moline. That's the most important part of it. Second most important, it's in your ward, Dan, so that's right. Kudos to you guys down there. It's a bright addition, literally, when you drive past it.
It's a beautiful building.
It's very, very bright, and we're looking forward to that being the catalyst, for convincing others to either stay in the city and continuing to be a part of Moline, or attracting them to Moline. And those are the kinds of examples that will actually score the points you want, whether in the TIF or anywhere else in the city. I did want to bring up one more thing, and that was this weekend. I want to kudos to Chris, his team, to KJ. Where did she go? She's not here to get kudos. Too bad. I'll shake her hand later. And everyone who showed up at the City Service Center. It's probably one of the worst weather days I've seen here in the last 2 years, next to the day that Denver started almost, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we all remember Denver's snowy start. God gave him an off year last year, now he's hitting him again. But we had really a great event down there. I spent the day down there with them, working it alongside them. Chris manning one door, calling out numbers, getting people through the door. It was a very, very heartwarming experience to see how many people showed up. The gym was full, absolutely full. People sitting on floors, up against walls, on benches, bringing their own chairs, the elderly. I think there was 174 food gift certificates that were distributed to, those who showed up. We had about 211 people come through the door. Not everybody stayed because it just took so long. Some people just had to go to work and they had to leave. But we learned a lot from that experience, that the need is ever present. You could never do enough. And everybody was grateful. Everybody was grateful to get something. So, again, thanks to the City Council for supporting the additional $35,000 food giveaway program to the people in greatest need. And as we said, Merry Christmas to each and every one of them as they left the door. We heard that back. Everybody was thrilled. One last thing I will bring up is the Bill Atkins. Yeah, Bill, even I get letters about your activities.
Oh.
Yeah. So the Illinois Municipal League has accepted Bill's appointment to serve on the Illinois Municipal League's Home Rule Attorneys Committee, which has some time commitments to it, which is great, and you must attend the conference. It's here, I read it, so it'll be in your performance requirements. But no, really excited that you're getting engaged with the league and putting Moline out there, so that they don't ever forget who we are, because we are number one, as Chief Galt will tell you. We are number one and growing every day. So that's all I have. Happy holidays to everybody. God bless.
Thank you. Any public comment this evening? Hearing none, I believe we have executive session.
Your Honor, I make a motion that the council convene an executive session for the purpose of discussion of property acquisition dash 5 ILCS 120/2 price settings for sale or lease of real property dash 5 ILCS 120/2 C6.
Second.
All right, that's Murphy and Timian. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Schmidt.
Aye.
Murphy.
Aye.
Macias.
Aye.
Razak.
Aye.
Timian.
Aye.
Finch.
Aye.
McNeil.
Aye.
Castro. 8 ayes, no nays, that motion carries.